I'm on Facebook. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of The Bullet. My name is Paul Lathrop. I'm the Deputy Director of New Media for the Second Amendment Foundation. Joining me today, Amanda Suffecool from Eye on the Target Radio. Amanda, great show you had yesterday.
It was like a show about nothing, or everything, or everything that annoys me.
Well, Jerry Seinfeld had a wonderful career and got fantastically rich doing that. So,
well, there you go.
But very good show yesterday. And one thing I want to lead off with today, your home state of Ohio went permitless today.
Yes.
You want to talk about that for just a few seconds?
Yeah, I will. It's pretty crazy. I've been on and off of social media today watching the comments, and people are losing their minds on permitless carry, and when you tie that right to this House Bill 99 and the school arming a school teacher bill that is just got signed by the governor, people don't know what they're doing or saying, or the sky is falling, and Chicken Little is spinning around in circles. The funny part about permitless carry is that Ohio has had open carry for years. They've had concealed carry for 18 years. So between open carry and concealed carry as a combination, most of the people who want to carry were already carrying in one of the manners in which they could potentially carry. And so everybody's like, look at this, it's going to be this, and people are going to get guns, and then there's going to be a fight, and then there's going to be... what I heard today, here is the scenario. I don't know if you've seen the I Promise school where the 17-year-old got beat to death this last week. It was the basketball player, Akron's child, the basketball player, the best basketball player out there that played for Cleveland. Anyhow, he came back to, his name will come back to me in a minute, but he came back to Akron, which was his home city, and he made this I Promise school. So there was a kid they were playing with those water pellet ball guns, and they were doing drive-by shootings, and they picked on a group of guys, adults, 18 to 21-year-old adults, who were playing basketball, and they came up, pretended it was a real gun, started some stuff, and in turn, those guys turned and they had a knockdown, beat down, and they killed one of the kids in the drive-by shooting. That was drive-by this. So there is this, it involved a plastic gun, it involved this school, so there's all of the stuff that has happened, and so everybody's having a conversation today saying it would be so much worse if LeBron James, yes. So it's LeBron James's school that this happened in the parking lot, and they're like, it could be so much worse. And it's like, how can it be so much worse when a 17-year-old was killed? He made bad choices, and those bad choices were he had something that looked like a gun, he pretended it was a gun, he was terrorizing other people with it, and then it went south from there. But they're like, oh, well, if they'd have had guns, it would have been worse. He'd have been more... He'd have
been dead quicker with less pain.
More
this
dead?
Is worse?
I just sit and listen to this, and it was like, what? Wait, huh? What? So yeah, that's the losing their minds in my community. And so, because the LeBron James school, that this I Promise school is a really good thing for our community, and it's a horrible thing that happened. But I don't think, depending on the tool that they use to end this 17-year-old's life, could make it worse.
Yeah. Get this one in. George says, we need common sense super soaker regulations.
Right. I mean, honestly, I sit and look at that, and it's like, well, I frankly believe the kid deserved a beat down, but not a beat to death. Yes. There's a spot where your mom says, don't let your mouth talk you into something that the rest of you can't handle, if you know what I mean.
To quote the famous line from from Top Gun, son, your body's writing checks your ego's writing checks your body can't cash.
And so that's legit. I believe the beginning of the fight was legit. 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds. I think that's a legit thing. Then it just completely went south. So.
Yeah. I want to get one more comment in here, then we're going to get into our main topic here.
Okay.
George says, did you see the article about the dog rescue in Thousand Oaks, California that will not let NRA supporters adopt a dog? George, I have not seen that story. Or I probably would have got that into the lineup for today, but I did not see that story yet. I will research that.
I will look for it, and it will be Sunday's. It will be a feature in Sunday's Eye on the Target. There's no doubt about it. That is insane. That is how badly they hate us. And it's not just that they don't respect us. It's they hate us. Mm-hmm. They believe that we're inherently murderers who are looking for someone or something to murder simply because we own a gun.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. I lied. One more comment.
That's
DJ
okay.
Play Nice. What? You support him being assaulted, Amanda? Well, let's.
I don't support him being assaulted, but I do support. I mean, there's a spot where when you run up and start a fight, you need to expect that sometimes you get punched in the nose. That's it. I'm not nothing worse than that. But when you start it, sometimes you are going to get socked back. That's the point.
I'm going to take it a step further. If you point something that looks like a firearm at somebody, do not be surprised if you get shot in the chest and maybe in the face if you don't go down with that chest shot.
There is that too. I mean, but even when you take that out and you just add that they started the assault,
mm-hmm.
right? No matter what the tool was, then they're going to get punched in the nose. They don't deserve to be stomped to death. But I firmly believe he deserved a punch in the nose.
Yeah. And George said the article about the dogs was in the Daily Mail today, and we're getting a lot of comments in. But I do want to jump to, and I'm sorry about everybody commenting. I do want to jump to our main topic for today, and I'm sure this is going to get just as many comments.
I'm thinking it's going to get more.
It could very well. It was announced Sunday morning that there was an agreement in the Senate. 10 Republican senators joined with 10 Democrat senators on an agreement for a gun control bill that'll be up in the Senate. Now, let me clarify. There's no bill written yet. There's nothing in front of the Senate.
There's topics.
Yes.
So they agreed upon topics to be included.
And I went today and I looked up the 10 senators and I looked up their re-election status. 4 of the 10 are retiring.
On the Republican side.
Yes, 4 of the 10 Republicans.
You didn't look up the Democrats.
No, because I honestly don't care. I hope they're all. Okay. I hope they're all gone. I'm going to work against all of them, but
I believe that they picked this group for that reason. I mean, Rob Portman announced a year ago that he was not rerunning. Tommy announced 2 years. Tommy announced 2 years ago that he was not rerunning. So they pick these 10 for a specific reason because they can do the optics of these dudes don't care. They really don't care. And then then they can try to force this, but I don't believe that they'll be able to force it through the rest of the Senate.
The other 2 that are retiring are Roy Blunt from Missouri and Richard Burr from North Carolina are not running for re-election for their Senate seat. There are 4 that are not contesting their Senate seat this election. There are 6 that are not up for election because they've been elected within the last 2 go-arounds. And we'll be talking about them here shortly. but the two big ones that I want to talk about to start one are one of them, our friend Yehuda Reamer is just up in arms about it. That's Senator John Cornyn of Texas. And he's not up for re-election until 2026. But Yehuda Reamer, our good friend who is a Texas resident, is just up in arms about this and says he's going to run against him. I love that attitude. I do not think Yehuda's got a great chance, but I would support him.
Right. I think there's two things. I mean, one is it needs to make you angry enough that you say that, so that you're looking for candidates. The other part is if you've got political aspirations, you can't start with the U.S. Senate. Yeah, can't. The Ohio primary, where Rob Portman said he wasn't running, there were 7 candidates. Each one of them started with $10 million. It was a $70 million primary before they ever get to the main feature where J.D. Vance is running against Tim Ryan. So it's big bucks, and so you need to work your way through the political system so that you have built the name recognition that you need to be able to do that. But that doesn't mean that Yehuda can't go looking for someone else to primary him. Yeah.
And as you predicted, and I thought would, we're the comments are just screaming in.
Just pop them up. Let's talk.
Let's get a few of them in. Here we go. We're going to start with DJ Play Nice. There will be more than one of those that will withdraw their support. I hope so. We're going to be listing more of them.
Well, I think in concept you can agree to some of the things that they wrote. But when they start to populate what's in there, I mean, they have the boyfriend, the boyfriend, what do they call it? Some
loophole.
Kind of a boyfriend loophole.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend loophole is really a straw purchase. So it's already illegal. So does this make a double secret illegal, right? Double down legal? I don't know. Why would you even need to write that? Except it's optics.
It is. And what they're hoping to do is anybody you've ever dated, even once in your lifetime, can now put you up for a red flag law. That's the goal.
Wow, that would be a ticket of bad choices.
I gotta say,
it was a while ago, but
in my teens and early 20s, I was not an angel, and so yeah. To go back to the Top Gun, the list of people I dated, and I may not be proud of, is long but distinguished. Let's put it that way. Let's get it. 'Cause wow, we got the comments just keep screaming in. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. I'm just telling you right now. I'm sorry,
stop explaining and just start popping them up, and we'll start to talk about it.
Pete over at Gun Websites. Retiring politicians still care about their party and legacy. Call and say, will you start voting the other party because they abandon your main issue? They hear that even as they retire, in my opinion. Now let me put this up. Let me see if I can see. There it is.
There is some of them do care about their legacy, and some of them have already burnt that bridge.
Yeah.
So Rob Portman was like second to Kerry as a rhino from the get-go, and so this legacy will just be like, okay, yeah.
And then Charlie Chambers says, Grassroots North Carolina has a rally at Tillis's office about his negotiating our human right of self-defense away. Charlie, if you can get a link either on the Facebook or YouTube side, I'll pop that up on the screen as well.
As to when it is and all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So have you guys seen some of the things that are in this, that are the topics in this bill?
Let's get into that.
So the topics are school safety, funding for school safety resources. I'm going to tell you that we are talking about Ohio's House Bill 99 and arming school teachers, and Faster Saves Lives, and Faster Colorado, and Faster Arizona. And there are a lot of states who are reaching out to FASTER and asking for assistance. So that would tie to this, and I don't know that anybody would push back against funding for school safety resources as long as they include hardening the schools and consider the consideration of arming teachers. So a clarification of a definition of an FFL dealer. So this would crack down on criminals who illegally evade license requirements when producing or selling a firearm. The FFL dealers thing is pretty darn strict and pretty darn clear. I pay attention to that because I believe what they're going to be doing is going into gun shows, that's another word for gun show loophole, where people can't sell someone's estate, they can't sell their own stuff, that type of a thing, because where else are they doing it? Because there are rules on producing firearms, build your owns, as to how many you can build, when they have to be serialized, how you can get rid of them. Those rules already exist. So yeah. Under 21 enhanced review process, so they are going to, and I read somewhere that they're looking at doing an enhanced review of buyers that are under the age of 21. That was the first one, but keep in mind that once they do that, then they would turn that into, well, if they're doing it for them, why aren't they doing it for everyone? So it's step one, camel's nose under the tent of making more restrictions on the review of buying a firearm.
So let's open this. I think what they're doing there is they're saying, well, look, your juvenile record, which traditionally has been sealed on your 18th birthday, they're saying that will now be open if you want to buy a firearm until your 21st birthday.
Review juvenile and mental health records. Okay. So how do they get to the mental health records, and what are the counselors going to do? I mean, we know right now that there are counselors who have had in their hand the manifesto that says, I am going to go and attack something, let's say a movie theater, and they've had it in their hand and did nothing because they believe that the HIPAA laws protected them and their clients. So how does that correspond?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Penalties for straw purchase. Crackdowns on criminals using third party to purchase guns and illegally giving weapons to them.
That's already illegal. Yeah.
Already illegal. Support for state crisis intervention orders. So what's a state crisis intervention order? Is that a red flag?
That's a red flag law. That is absolutely a red flag
by another
law.
name, right? We'll just name it something completely. Protections for victims of domestic violence. So
I think we're still talking red flags laws there.
So
you know what a good protection for victims of domestic violence is? A Glock 17.
There is that. And I mean, if they're going to do something there, they need Nikki Gozer's bill out of Tennessee to keep people who are who are in jail, who are stalking you and continuing to stalk you, from getting out of jail on good behavior, because they didn't charge him with stalking.
Yeah.
They only charged him with the murder from the stalking. Right? Nope. Telehealth investments in mental health resources. So increase access to mental and behavioral health services for youth and families in crisis, but remotely. Yeah, cracking down means they will harass.
Yes.
Bingo. Right? So more investment in children and family mental health services. I don't know that there is anyone who is opposed to them doing something to revamp the mental health system. Just leave the firearms portion out of it and fix the mental health as it associated with all evil and whatever tool they elect to use. So let's see, funding for school-based mental health and supportive services. So they're going to put more mental health into the schools. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I already believe that they have this whole issue where they're trying to do things around the parents, ignoring the parents. And so if they do stuff that's considered mental health with the HIPAA, are they going to exclude the parents from things? I mean, we're seeing it right now in some of the questions that are just, you just can't believe that. There's a couple of parents with lawsuits right now against schools and the stands that teachers have taken with their children.
Got to get up two more comments that I want to comment on. Here we go. That's the button right there. Larry Benson says, we just need sensible laws making violating the existing laws against the law.
Oh, I'm telling you, we need to make it double, triple, with a cherry on top, illegal.
And DJ Plain Eye says, so many violations of existing civil rights, the proposal slaps down so many amendments. Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So I think that what's going to happen is that right now they're trying to make this do something, do anything. And in the long run, they're going to have a real hard time with this, because when they get to the wording, people are going to be like, Constitution, people's rights, yeah, there's got to be a way to word this that is not offensive, but this isn't it.
Yeah. And we've had so many double secret probation that I love this. Spartan 6 comes up with this. Toga, toga, toga.
I'm there. I am there. What I would love to see additional help with schools to harden real security. Right.
I'm not going to fight real hard against additional help for mental health programs.
I just don't want it in the school. I want it that the school can refer them, but I don't want it under the school's control.
Yes. And red flag laws are simply, and anything with red flag laws are simply a way for an opening for gun confiscation. It's a, not even ex-wife, not even, it's your,
right. Anybody who's vindictive,
yes,
it can use that as vindication in some way. Look at this. Look what I was managed to be able to do, because a red flag allows you, with no questions asked, to do that, and so it takes away your rights to face your accuser.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If you can hear our voices right now, I want to ask you: do you know personally a Karen? Because a Karen can just call the sheriff's department under a red flag law and say, Jerry Jones is going nuts. I dated Jerry Jones once, or Jerry Jones can call and say, do you know Kim Murphy?
Right.
Because Kim Murphy is going nuts and is going to shoot up a school. And they can...
Well, I mean, they've already had cases where a stalker turns in their victim so that the victim is disarmed so that the stalker can be successful.
And they speaking of vindictiveness, one that comes clearly to mind is there was a lady in Colorado that filed a red flag on a on-duty officer who actually had her son had problems and committed suicide by cop, and this unfortunate person's mother then filed a red flag against this cop and claimed that this kid was their love child with no, I mean, they had never met. So that is what red flag laws do.
Right. Yeah, there's just a couple different pieces. And so I really believe that the administration picked these senators because they thought they had the best chance for optics. I honestly, as you look at some of the other stuff that's out there, I don't believe it stands a rat's chance, but I think we have to be prepared for every one of them, and we need to make statements and let people know that it cannot succeed. But I believe that it is this is an optics play completely, just to try to they're trying to bolster their base in this election cycle, because the Dems know that they are floundering and they're in trouble.
They're in huge trouble. I want to. We're down to 5 minutes left, and tonight we do have to be out at the bottom of the hour because I got to turn this thing around in 30 minutes and start Polite Society. But I want to read the rest of the names of the senators that are still going to be in office. We've already mentioned John Cornyn out of Texas. Senator Tom Tillis out of North Carolina is not up for re-election until 2026. If you're in North Carolina, you still need to call his office.
That's the one that Charlie Chambers was just telling us they're having a rally.
Yes. Richard Burr, again, North Carolina. He's retiring, though. He's retiring. Here's a big shock. Mitt Romney out of Utah. I mean, isn't he pro-gun? I mean, when he was governor of Massachusetts, he went against. He went for an assault weapons ban. But yeah, Utah, get on the phone. Bill Cassidy out of Louisiana. He's not up for re-election until 2026. I don't know how she keeps getting reelected. Susan Collins out of Maine, not up for reelection until 2026. Those are the ones that are keeping their seats that are in this group of 10. We need to let them know our displeasure.
Right.
And as good Lord willing, as long as I remain able to speak, as long as I have a microphone and a way to broadcast, I'm going to keep these names at the front of my at the front of my attention. And in 2024 and 2026,
point of your little pointy head.
Yes. And in 2024 and 2026, I'm going to be reminding everyone that these folks were willing to give your rights away. But until then, this year, 202-224-3121. Tonight, tomorrow, the next day, call their offices, remind them that they took an oath of office to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and you expect them to keep that oath.
Now, the interesting part is keep the message short. I read somewhere just recently that someone was charged with stalking because they burnt through the 30 seconds. They called back a second time and on the same day, and so then that looked like they were a stalker. So keep your message short, keep it concise, and try to keep out the 4-letter words, and just tell them it's a crock of cheese.
Yes, there's lots of crocks of cheese and all kinds of hot air balloons. They don't have any burners. They just got lots of hot air balloons that are filled with senators and House members. But DJ Play Nice also puts up the over on the YouTube side the U.S. Senate contact page, senate.gov/senators/senators-contact HTML. Hit your senators up. Let them know both on the web, over the phone. Fax them if you have a fax machine. Email them. Send up smoke signals if you can.
Well, the brilliant part is call the switchboard, email them, and then dig up all of their local offices and call their local offices. So they'll have 3 or 4 of those. You can be counted every day as like 5 votes.
Yes,
Use them
you
all.
Absolutely can. Yeah, every senator in each state. In my state of South Dakota, one of the senators has 5 offices. One of them has 4. So call each local office and let them know that you're pleased or not pleased with what's going on. And Crosley has made a fan.
Yeah, he loves being on TV.
And finally, Pete over at Gun Website says U.S. Capitol switchboard operator can connect you directly with the Senate office. Yes, they can. All you need to tell the operator is what state you're in, and
they'll connect you.
Yes.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right, and we've got my my Amazon device.
Your alarm just went off saying
Yes.
that it's the bottom of the hour, and he's already going to be freaked out because he's doing the next show, which is an hour and a half long, and he needs to set it up, and there's more people than me. So
yeah, so we need to hit the exit here. But Amanda, before we go, what's coming up on Women for Gun Rights on Friday? And what's going on with Eye on the Target Radio?
Well, I'm going on the road. So I recorded today the show for Friday. It's Christy Titus, and she's Pursue the Wild, Christy Titus, and she's amazing. So it's a great show. So you could tune into that 7 p.m. on OpsLens channel. So Women for Gun Rights. And then on Sunday, I will be traveling. So Rob is at the controls. And if you guys watch the show, you know that that's anything can happen, and the wheels can fly off the bus. So I'll call in. We'll see what happens with it.
Speaking as the video producer, that even has me a little nervous.
Oh yeah, there's always yeah. He's like, it's harder than it looks.
Think. All right. Well, folks, thank you for joining us. And on the way out, no Supreme Court decision today. We'll be watching Wednesday. And if something does happen Wednesday, by the way, you're used to seeing Charlie today. Charlie will be Wednesday. And if something does happen on Wednesday, if we get a decision, Alex Uli will be joining us as well. That's going to do it for us today. Come join us in 28 minutes for the Polite Society podcast, same place you're watching this.